Hey there everyone, my name is Brian, and I would like to personally welcome you to the introductory episode of How to Franchise. Now, the idea behind this is to give you a working knowledge of your favorite franchises before the next big film comes up so you can be ready to watch it without having to spend the time watching all the films. That's what I'm here for. And the first big franchise that I'd like to do that's getting a major release this year is Jurassic Park. I've loved dinosaurs since I was a kid, and Jurassic Park was the end-all be-all of dinosaur movies. Since I'm pretty excited for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, I want to give you guys a walkthrough of the Jurassic Park franchise before the new movie comes out. Since it's always good to start with the beginning, we're going to start with the first film, Jurassic Park. The original. The story follows John Hammond, the creator of the bioengineering company InGen, as he invites Dr. Alan Grant, Dr. Ellie Sattler, as well as Ian Malcolm, played impeccably by the always fantastic Jeff Goldblum, to inspect his new high-tech attraction theme park, Jurassic Park.
My dear Dr. Sattler, welcome to Jurassic Park.
We do have other characters such as Lex and Tim Murphy, but we're not going to worry about the other ones since they're mostly just dino food.
Clever girl.
The basic premise of the movie is that while on tour of the island, shenanigans ensue and a lot of dinosaurs get loose, and quite a few people get eaten. With one action set piece after another, the movie keeps you entertained on an admittedly slim plot. And with that, I really don't want to go into much more about the movie because it's Jurassic Park. How have you not seen it? It's one of the best movies ever made. What I really want to get down right here, right now, is that I can never do justice to what Steven Spielberg and the entire crew of this movie were able to accomplish back in 1993. Speaking of accomplishing things, Stan Winston, he is the maestro of just everything. Have you ever seen all the movies that guy has worked on? He is a goddamn master. And that is not to discredit all the people who work at Stan Winston's studio. Well done, guys. Just damn. The story this time follows a reluctant Ian Malcolm as he is tasked by John Hammond to jump back into the fray on the island Isla Sorna. Now, this is the sister island of Isla Nublar. Isla Sorna is the sort of test island where they bred all the dinosaurs and they were shipped over to Isla Nublar in order to be part of the park. Hammond, who now agrees with Ian Malcolm that the dinosaurs are probably best left alone, has been ousted by the greedy executives of InGen who are still planning to profit off of the creatures. The plan is to send people onto the island in order to record the dinosaurs in order to gain public support to just leave them be. Ian doesn't really want to go back, but he does have personal reasons to go. His girlfriend, Dr. Sarah Harding, has already ventured to the island. Ian is also joined by Eddie Carr, Nick Van Owen, and his daughter, Kelly. The only other characters you should really worry about are Peter Ludlow, Hammond's nephew who has taken control of the company, as well as Roland Tembo, a big game hunter who InGen has hired to track down dinosaurs. InGen gets freaky by capturing all the dinosaurs by choking them, though thankfully Ian and his group are successful at sabotaging InGen by letting all the dinosaurs out of their cage and rampaging through the InGen camp. During the fray, Sarah discovers an injured baby T-Rex who was left out by Tembo in order to attract the parents. She brings it back to their base of operations and tries to mend it, though Ian is very against it, knowing full well how angry T-Rexes can get. Turns out he's right because Eddie gets got, and the T-Rexes nearly kill everyone by pushing the SUV trailer? I'm not sure what that is. Thankfully, the InGen guys don't seem to be the type of people who hold grudges, and they save Ian's group. The group gets attacked again by the T-Rexes, and they're chased through a field by velociraptors, and this is honestly probably the best part of the movie, and frankly, it's where it should have ended, but oh well. While Nick tries to establish communications in order to get rescued, the rest of the group is chased around by velociraptors, and shenanigans ensue.
Hey, you!
Yeah, I don't know either. Tembo is able to tranquilize one of the T-Rexes, meaning that whenever they do get rescued, InGen was free to bring it to the mainland as they pleased. It's brought in by boat, but upon arrival, it's discovered that all the crew have been killed and the T-Rex has gotten loose. In San Francisco. Oh boy. After an entertaining rampage through San Francisco, the T-Rex is reunited with its child. Ludlow bites it, and the story ends happily ever after. To sum up my feelings on this movie is difficult because The Lost World is really a mixed bag. There's a lot of great stuff in here. The dinosaur effects have been improved upon, which is always a good thing. But conversely, as much as I love Jeff Goldblum and I love the character of Ian Malcolm, it feels like they really didn't know what to do with him in this movie, and it feels like the talents of Jeff Goldblum are just sort of wasted. And that kind of goes for all the characters in this movie. It just feels really bland whenever something exciting isn't happening on screen. The highlight of the movie, of course, is the rampage through San Francisco. Sure, the movie probably should have ended with them getting off the island, but what can I say, man? I'm a sucker for schlock like that. I love that type of shit. This is the final film in the original continuity of the films, and we get back Alan Grant. Dr. Grant is approached by Paul and Amanda Kirby, millionaires who want to get a front row view of the dinosaurs and are asking him to be their guide. Something isn't quite right though, but Dr. Grant, needing the money, reluctantly agrees. As it turns out, the Kirbys aren't millionaires, and the reason they wanted to go to the island is that their son, Eric, went missing on the island some time ago. Dr. Grant is also joined by his assistant, Billy Brennan. After crash landing on the island, the hero T-Rex from all the films that we've all grown to know and love just gets killed off. Very quickly. Bummer. Even though it's scientifically inaccurate, but that's fair because all the films in this franchise are scientifically inaccurate, the Spinosaurus functions well enough as a primary antagonist, but it's not a T-Rex, man. You can't kill off the T-Rex this early in the movie. The raptors also take a larger role in this film as we really see how intelligent they can be. Though some would say that the raptors take up a little bit too much screen time, especially during this scene.
Alan!
Yeah, I have no idea what that's about, but it's good to know that the filmmakers recognize the popularity of the raptors and are trying to capitalize on it, but Jesus, why the hell would you think that's a good idea? After the group gets separated by raptors, Alan discovers Eric, who has been living on his own on the island for a long time now and doing fairly well for himself. However, a run-in with the Spinosaurus brings the group back together, and it leads to the best scene in the movie, in my personal opinion, and that is the Petrodon scene. The reason I like this scene so much is because we've never really had a highlighted moment with pterodactyls or petrodons or really any flying creature in Jurassic Park until this moment, in fact, and it's just really, really cool. There's a lot of build up and tension to it, and it feels right. After two fairly anticlimactic moments, one seeing the defeat of the Spinosaurus somehow, and even more weird shenanigans with the Velociraptors, the movie wraps up. As much as Jurassic Park 3 pales in comparison to even the second one, let alone the first one, I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. Now, granted, there's a lot of personal bias coming from that because I saw Jurassic Park 3 in theaters at Universal Studios, so what else can I say? Like, it's a guilty pleasure of mine, and I'm not afraid to say that because it's a dinosaur movie, man. You get dinosaurs, you get what you paid for. Sure, it's not a classic or a flawed movie like the first two, but it's still pretty good. The saving grace of this movie is that it's only an hour and a half long, which might sound like it's a negative on the movie, but it really isn't. In the end, Jurassic Park 3 is a really flawed,
Alan.
extremely flawed, but ultimately harmless sequel. After nearly a decade of total silence, the franchise came back to life with the newest entry, Jurassic World, which was a total reboot of the franchise, ignoring all the films except the original. Set 22 years later, Jurassic World sees John Hammond's original vision realized with a fully functioning theme park. The film begins with two brothers, Zach and Gary Mitchell, visiting their aunt, Claire, who helps operate the park. There's also Owen Grady, the raptor trainer at the park, and also the kinda is, kinda isn't love interest of Claire. The chief of security at the park, Vic Hoskins, believes that the raptors could be militarized, though Owen knows that's a horrible idea. Like, just a really horrible idea, Hoskins. What the fuck? The current runner of the park, Simon Masrani, has commissioned the creation of a brand new hybrid species known as the Indominus Rex. This, of course, gives us our movie, since this turns out to be a really, really bad idea. The Indominus Rex breaks loose, shenanigans ensues, and Zack and Gray's babysitter just really gets eaten. Like, holy crap. I get it, she was kind of annoying, but no one deserved to die that brutally or that spectacularly. I love it. Hoskins tries to weaponize the raptors in order to fight against the Indominus Rex, which, of course, is just another bad idea piled onto the heaping stack of bad ideas people have in this movie. Hoskins gets got, obviously, because he's an idiot. The Indominus is finally taken down in a contest that is scheduled for one fall, in a 2-against-1 title match between the Indominus Rex and the People's Champion, Rexy the T-Rex, with Blue the Raptor! But then the Mosasaurus comes in and steals the kill, which, granted, it's really cool to watch, but it feels kind of cheap. Now, you may have noticed that throughout most of this, I've been focusing on the dinosaurs, especially with Jurassic World, which isn't a bad thing. Jurassic Park, excluding the original mostly, but pretty much all the sequels, you come to see the dinosaurs, and that's not a bad thing. And speaking specifically about Jurassic World, a lot of people like to give this movie shit for, just being a monster movie, but yeah, it's a monster movie. Of course it is. It's not a dinosaur movie necessarily anymore because the Indominus Rex is a monster. It's not a dinosaur. It's not a dinosaur in the sense that we think of it. And so I classify it as a movie monster. And the movie The Indominus Rex is really a movie monster, not a dinosaur, and I think Jurassic World as a monster movie first and foremost, and I think it does its job pretty well. Sure, the characters are a little bit bland. The kids in this movie are way more annoying than the kids in the first movie, but when it counts, it does all the cool dinosaur and monster stuff right, and you get what you pay for. The number one thing I actually really enjoy about Jurassic World is that it did the thing that we've been wanting to see since the original film. How would a theme park centered around dinosaurs work? And that was fulfilled in this movie, and I was very pleased with that. As of the time of this recording, there's only been one trailer released for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and it just seems like a retread of The Lost World. Like, I know that they're doing a lot of different things, and the trailer only shows footage from roughly the first half of the film. But the problem is that we've seen the stuff that they're showing in this movie before, minus the volcano. But we've seen people roaming around on either Isla Sonar or Isla Nublar or whatever through ruins of what was supposed to be Jurassic Park. And they're just doing that again, which is kind of annoying. But I'll give the movie a shot. This movie seems to be a lot of the same with Jurassic World, with a lot of over-the-top sort of crazy dinosaur stuff, which I'm not against, but it may have run its course by this film. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the movie yet. Anyway, that's all there is for the Jurassic Park franchise, and that's it for the first episode of How To Franchise. I'd really like to know what you guys thought down below, and just if you'd like to see more. Thank you. Bye-bye.